Hi all, Lionheart here. Just a video going over Napoleon Total War. Now, what else can there be, do you think? You might ask. Well, the latest PC Gamer edition, which I picked up today, Napoleon Total War. There's an interview with CA, and lots more things have been revealed about Napoleon Total War. So I thought I'd share them with you and let you guys know what to expect, basically. I've read through it briefly. Go and buy the PC Gamer if you can. It's the October edition. It's literally just come out today. Or for subscribers, it might have come out. They might have got it a few days earlier. I'm not a subscriber. I'd buy it. I just don't have enough money really to pay for a full subscription, even though those cost more. I know. Anyway, Napoleon Total War. It's being heralded as actually, I'll just read this bit from it. He says it's being heralded as the new king of Total War. But there's a nice little bit that they put on the top of it. If I can find the flipping page. Right. It says, more ambitious than Alexander the Great, more ruthless than Genghis Khan, more cunning than Hannibal. And there's no official release on here. They say release spring 2010. I'm hoping it's released later because I'll be away on my gap year. But of course, on the site it does say February 2010. But I'm hoping it's later. But of course, for you guys, let it be February. But I just won't be able to put videos up for like 2 or 3 months, which is going to really kill me. Anyway, Napoleon Total War. It is a standalone game. It has nothing to do with before. Okay, it has been developed from Empire, and it obviously is 100 years sort of later on-ish. They're looking at a period of 1795 to 1815, which follows Napoleon's career. That brings me on to a key highlight point of the turn-based situation, but I'll tell you about that later. First thing that's making it so dynamically different, obviously it's standalone. Think of it as kingdoms, what Kingdoms was for Medieval 2. Because it had 3 different campaigns or 3 different set campaigns. This will have 3 campaigns which follow on from each other, showing Napoleon's legacy or playing as the other factions against Napoleon and sort of producing the same results as actual history. Main big thing, anyone ever played any of the Civilization games? Yes, no, I'm going as a yes, I have. Supplies are key importance. They're bringing supplies into Total War, into Napoleon Total War. Supplies like your cannonballs, your gunpowder, your stocks, your munition, all your other munitions, your flour, your food, your the families or whatever. They're bringing all that into it as your supply trains. And supplies are now key. Now some of you think, oh, it's going to be really boring. No, they're turning into Civilization. So I'm just going to move this camera just a little bit. There we go. Yeah, by the way, if I look a bit orange, it's because the light sensor hasn't on that focus, because I've only had this camera like a week or so, and I still don't know how everything works. Anyway, back to the point, Napoleon Total War. Supplies are going to play a big importance. So the key example they gave in the review was that, say, you're in Empire, you're defending against with 6 units in a city against a 20-stack army. You've basically got no hope unless the AI is that shit. Which it is quite bad, but it's not that bad. It'll still beat you. I actually find the AI quite good sometimes. But think of it like this: with supplies, they suggest send some light cavalry out, take out the supply lines, and then when that big 20-stack army comes towards you, which it won't be, they give an example of Napoleon in 1812. He had a grand army of 550,000 men. By the following year, it was down to 12,000 men, and that was done through starvation of his men and the bitter cold and disease. By taking out your supplies, you're doing just that. You're lowering the morale because the men aren't fed, and there's a famous quote, you'll never agitate a man on a full stomach, because they'll always be happy, they'll be fed. As long as they're fed, they're happy. As long as troops are fed, they're happy. They keep the morale. If they don't have it, so they'll appear to the battlefield with low morale. If you take out the munitions on the supplies, like there'll be no cannonballs for the artillery, there'll be no canister shots, so you won't get raped by that. There'll be no powder for the muskets. The men, maybe there won't even be any muskets. The men can't fire, maybe only 1 in 6 men will have a rifle. You can instantly pwn that 20-stack army. Tables are turned, that army might have dwindled from 20-stack to maybe 7-stack by the time it actually gets you, because they're implementing supplies that you have to be near towns and cities to receive regular supplies, things like that. So you would occupy villages and towns to get supplies, things like that. Another thing, turn-based wise, they've always been sort of years or 6 months. In Napoleon, it's going to be 2 weeks. 2 weeks, yeah. That is basically because of the time frame, 1795 to 1815, and that allows you to have a more personal gaming experience, they say, with Napoleon's career, and follow his career personally. It's about Napoleon. I mean, his name's on the game, Napoleon Total War. There we go. The map size. Map size wise, there's going to be 3 campaign maps, obviously. First 2 are quite small, which the guy was a bit sort of upset about. However, don't worry, the last one is a grand campaign style map where you take over Moscow and Britain if that's what you want to do, or you can let him get crushed, or crush him playing as the other factions. They are playable. That's what I was remembering. New thing, AI. New AI, they're using a new AI director system, so that will vastly improve the Empire. Empire users, us, you guys, watching right now, there is a new huge big AI improvement plan for patch 1.4, which should be out soon. They didn't specify. Some forums have been saying they've heard stuff about September it coming out, maybe October. But it is coming out soon, and it's got a big AI improvement, so hopefully that'll fix quite a lot of the problems there, and also allow naval invasions, because at the moment playing as Great Britain is rather crap. Next bit. The final bit, actually, moving on to now. There's obviously loads in this article, and I would love to tell you every single bit about it, but time restraints, YouTube, the size of the video, I want to upload it, I want to get it on there, stuff like that. There's just not a lot of time. So go and buy your latest copy of PC Gamer. It's the October edition. Looks like this. If you live in England. US, it'll probably look the same. It would be like PC Gamer in different text or whatever. So yeah. Anyway, next bit, the biggest bit, well, one of the main improvements for, obviously, Empire users. You know units like Rakes, Gentlemen, and Priests. I never used Priests. I think the only time I ever used a Priest was when I was playing the Prussian campaign. At the beginning, you got given one. I didn't really like them. They're getting rid of religion. They're not getting rid of religion. Sorry, I don't think they are. But they're getting rid of priests, because obviously if you're having a 2-week turn-based system, it's not going to work that well. Well, your priests aren't going to have enough time to rapidly change religion. So they're out. Rakes have been changed back to their names of spies, apparently, so they'll be able to gather intel from camps and send back stuff like that. Gentlemen are now more useful. They can now pen propaganda and spread that, as well as researching technologies and stealing it, and obviously all that. 322 new units, or units in the game there's going to be. All slightly characteristically unique for each faction, so we're not going to have clone factions like we did slightly in Empire, and more importantly clone armies. They're all going to look different. Before I get on to the looking different part, warrior kings, we're getting generals back. Your kings can now become generals. They will fight at the front of your army, which I think is a vast improvement, because I really wanted to use my kings in battle, my queens in battle. I want to have warrior queens. Napoleon, obviously they can't not have a Napoleon general unit, so that is obviously why they're aiming to bring them back in this game, which is going to be fantastic, because honestly most of my kings in Empire are pretty crap, because they just sit there and do policy. It's another note gone. Final note. New animations for all the units as well. They've done loads more. While they were doing the interview, they went to the motion capture studio and stuff, and they saw a guy on the motion capture walking around dragging a bag of flour so it's part of the supply train thing. They're dragging some flour or some munitions, trying to save it from an enemy raid maybe. So it's going to be new animations. 64 new face images. So we're not going to have clone armies anymore. Also, millions of different combinations of different arms and legs and builds and different uniforms and moustaches, facial hair, features. They're going to get rid of clone armies, which was a big problem for it. Napoleon Total War, they say on the site it's February release. I'm hoping slightly later, obviously, so I can get some videos out when I come back from my gap year, and I don't have to sort of be 2 months, 3 months behind everyone else. Go and buy obviously the PC Gamer if you're interested, because that article has loads more than what I've just said. That's just a brief overview, but now we know new units, standalone, warrior kings, unique units, special. Oh yeah, nothing. Like Kingdoms, they're hoping to bring special abilities for those warrior king units, unique things, which I think is quite cool. Hoping this video hasn't gone over 10 minutes. Although it probably did, because I did quite a lot of faffing around, but I'll cut that out. So yeah, please comment, rate, and subscribe to my existing videos. Please ask me questions, and I'll be happy to reply about more details that I find out in the article. This is just a brief overview to update you guys, because I thought it was wow. You need to know this, by the way. If you haven't seen the trailer for it, I'll put it in the sidebar. It's either that way or that way. I can't remember. I think it's that way. Left? To the left? Yeah, to the left. I think it's that way. Or it might be... Oh, I don't know. It's that way. I'll put the description in there. Please comment and subscribe. Please visit my forums, www.toddfin.co.uk. If even half my subscribers joined up, I'd have a happy, active forum, which would be great. But I'm not pressing you guys. But please, if you've got some time, please visit www.toddfin.co.uk. 2 Ds, by the way. I'll put it in the link. I'll put it in this, that way. Anyway, see you guys. Oh yeah, by the way, before I go, new video up tomorrow, battle. Naval tactics. I've been playing with the naval clan, the King's Own Royal Navy, so that might be why you see me with those tags. So I'm going to do a naval tactics video because they've taught me quite some interesting stuff, so don't any of you go moaning, go, no, naval battles. It's just some nice naval tactics, they're quite interesting, like them. And also there's going to be a Maratha battle come up on either tomorrow or Wednesday, probably, latest Thursday. What am I doing? Oh, I'm working Wednesday. So yeah, Maratha, because someone wanted me to see me play with elephants, which sounds wrong.